and welcome to day 4 of my Gut Loving Life 5-day live video series. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's demo of the cashew nut cheese dip and that you managed to implement some of the advice. It would be great to see some comments and likes down here. If you're on, please write your name or just say hello and tap the screen on the side to send me some hearts and some thumbs up would be very nice. So just for you to, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Natalie Sansonetti. I'm a health and nutrition coach and owner of Gut Loving Life, where I offer a 90-day program to take busy, stressed, struggling moms and professionals from bloated, lethargic and uncomfortable in their clothes and lives to getting their health and bodies back in control for good. So I'll post a link at the end when I post this video. On top, I'll put a link for you to book a free discovery session with me so that you can see how I can help you. So today I might wait a couple of minutes, so a couple of seconds, few seconds to see if anyone else comes on. So today we're going to talk about sugar, and actually the fact that sugar is not good for you is not a myth, that one. So sugar is actually known to age cells even more than smoking. So if you want your skin to look healthy and youthful, you need to stop eating sugar. It's also been linked to heart disease, hormonal disruption, digestive problems, bloat. It also feeds cancer cells and it makes you very fat. Okay, so it's actually more fattening than fat itself. So how does that work? Well, sugar is one of the jobs of the brain is actually to check how much sugar or glucose there is in the blood, so that because if it falls below a certain amount, the brain actually breaks down and shuts down and dies. So it needs to have a certain amount of sugar for it to function properly. So its job, or one of its jobs, is to check out how much glucose there is in the blood, and if it falls below a certain amount, it tells the pancreas to produce insulin. Or if you're eating too much sugar, it tells the pancreas to produce insulin, because too much sugar in the brain is not good for it as well. So the insulin's job is to bring down the level of sugar in the blood, otherwise, and then the sugar is stored in the body cells and ready to be used as energy. So your body, if you're not using that energy straight away, your body is going to store that in the liver. The liver is going to store it in the adipose tissues and all your tissues in your body, making you fat. So if you eat too much sugar or sugary foods in relation to the amount of energy you produce or you use as well, that's not going to work in to keep you trim and healthy and fit. Okay. So insulin resistance, it also happens that when the body has too much, the pancreas has to produce too much insulin in order to keep reducing the sugar in the blood, the cells become insulin resistant. That means that they resist to, they make you unable to actually use the sugar and the glucose as a source of energy, so that the liver will store even more sugar as fat in the body. So that's been linked, insulin resistance has been linked to pre-diabetic symptoms, and you're going to lack energy, you're going to put on weight, you're going to increase your appetite, you might get a woolly head, digestive problems, etc. So you don't want to get to that stage if you want to have a happy, healthy body, and if you don't want to put on a lot of weight, right? So what are sugars? When I talk about sugars, I'm talking about carbs, I'm talking about proper sugar, like, you know, refined sugars in sweets, cakes, chocolate, things like that. But I'm also talking about carbs, especially the white carbs, like white breads, white potatoes, white pasta, white rice. All of these turn into glucose in your blood, so that's not going to help your insulin levels again. Things also like honey that's been pasteurized, bread, lactose from inside your dairy foods, and also alcohol. Alcohol, the main ingredient in there is actually sugar, or one of the main ingredients is sugar. And again, that's not going to do anything good to your insulin resistance, and it's going to make you put on weight, plus the other symptoms and aging as well. So I actually know in my practice quite a few people who come going completely cold turkey on alcohol, or or people who stopped drinking, you know, people who were alcoholics, and they actually become completely hooked on sugar, and they walk around with their little bags of sweets. So that again is always going to increase your insulin resistance and all the problems with it. Another two factors that can increase your insulin resistance, meaning that you're going to put on weight and not able to use the sugar as energy, is also high consumption of animal foods, animal proteins. That doesn't work very well. And also bad fats. So hi Sophie, nice to see you. So bad fats and high animal foods, high protein levels in animal foods are not going to be good for your insulin resistance and contribute to it. So you might actually see people with, if you see people or even yourselves with a little bit too much weight around your belly, and if you tend to lose weight everywhere except your tummy, and your tummy is quite bloated, that's definitely a sign of insulin resistance. So share the video, please, put some comments, hi, and tap the screen for little likes and little hearts. That would be really nice. Hi Katie, nice to see you. So I was talking about sugar for those of you who've just joined, and how eating too much sugar too often in the form of sugars, carbs, you know, honey and bread and lactose and alcohol actually contributes to you putting on a lot of weight, because you end up not being able to use that sugar as energy because you become insulin resistant. Okay. So another big question around sugar is fruits. I know a lot of I know fruits have got a lot of bad reputation these days, but what a shame, because fruits actually a really healthy food to have in your diet, full of really essential nutrients, essential vitamins and fiber, which make it an essential and you know, something you can't not have in your diet. So if you do like fruit, have it, have a few, don't have 20 pieces a day, you know, don't just have fruit as snacks, but to have it. And also the sugar in fruit is easily digested and more quickly digested because of the fiber. So it doesn't have time to do much damage to your insulin levels or to make you put on a lot of weight. Okay, so do have a few pieces of fruit every day. You'll be absolutely fine, and it's going to be great for the vitamin C and antioxidants and other vitamins. The brain actually needs a little sugar, because if it doesn't have enough sugar, it starts to feel, you know, you start feeling foggy headed, you start feeling your energy levels go, you can get a little bit shaky, so your blood sugar will definitely go down, and you need to avoid that, because that's great. I love fruit too, Sophie. So it's actually not good to have too little sugar as well, because then your brain is going to shut down and die actually when it's completely depleted of sugar. So how do you cut down or cut out sugar from your life without your brain suffering from all of that? The easiest way is to make sure that your brain is constantly fed some kind of glucose on a regular basis, but not glucose in the form of sugar. You need to basically give it a lot more protein than you're eating. So the actual counter to sugar is protein and good fats. So you need to increase the amount of protein that you eat in a day, and increase the frequency of your meals. If you tend to get shaky and low blood sugar and hungry all the time, try and increase the amount of protein and the number of meals you have with protein to 3 to 5 a day. and have some protein, but not always animal protein in every meal. So you can have nuts and seeds and quinoa and pulses and lots of things like tofu and non-animal proteins as well as the animal protein. The animal protein you can have once a day, that's fine, but don't go completely overboard. Like I said before, it's also a contributor to insulin resistance and high acidity in your body, so you don't want that. So first of all, to reduce or cut out and detox from sugar, you make sure you never miss a meal. Otherwise your brain is going to say, oh my goodness, I need my next fix of sugar, and it's going to push you and give you the cravings. So you need to avoid being in that situation. So never miss a meal. Always have breakfast in the morning to get your blood sugar going up, after you've fasted all night. You need to eat protein 3 to 4 times a day, and you need to increase good fats, especially omega-3. I'll talk about the fats tomorrow, but good fats are essential to us feeling actually full and content after a meal, so we're less likely to have that feeling of I need chocolate or I need a pudding after this meal, okay? So that's it for today, and I'm going to wrap up this session now. And hi Neil, thank you for joining me, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing this session at 1:30 p.m. instead of 12:30, still on the Gut Loving page, and I'll be talking about the good fats and the bad fats and busting some myths around the fats as well, and why low-fat diets have literally killed millions over the last 30-40 years. Okay, so please share this video and invite your friends to join in the live, and put some comments also down after I've posted it. And again, I'm going to post a link if you want to have a free discovery call session. You can book a session on that, click the link, and to see whether I can help you with your digestion, your energy, and life in general. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely Monday afternoon. Goodbye.